What's up, people? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Fabio Palvelli, and today we're going to talk about ArchViz images and prices. By the way, I just got back from the D2 conference in Vienna. It was a blast. I made a vlog last week. In case you missed it, go and check it out. It was a lot of fun. As I said, in today's video, we're going to talk about ArchViz images and prices. It is 2024. I know I've touched this topic in the past, but I thought to give it a refresher, and I also made a little tool that can help you in understanding how to price your work. Pricing in ArchViz has always been a very hot topic. People seem to always have an opinion, but often you see opinions, that's all that there is to it. They're just opinions. In this video, we're just going to focus on images because for animations, the conversation about pricing, it's a little bit more complex. So, how much should you charge for an image? Is it 1,000 euros? Is it 2,000 euros? Is it 500 euros? Or is it 10,000 euros like some of these big companies charge? 10,000 euros an image? Whoa, this is crazy. Nobody charges that much. I've been in this industry long enough to tell you that actually there are projects who cost a lot more than 10,000 euros per image. When it comes to pricing, there are three factors that define how much you should charge for an image. The first one is the time that it takes you for you to do it, to complete the image and for you to get paid. The second one is all the costs that are associated to the making of an image. So, you know, the assets that you need, your computer, the software, maybe you need extra help from other artists, and so you need to hire other people to help you out. And then, of course, there is the importance of the project that you're involved in. This also drives the price up because when you work on an important project, the stakes are higher, you're taking more risks, most likely you'll spend more time working on the project, and so this drives the price up. Navigating the landscape of pricing can be very difficult, especially when you're starting out. And then when you do define how much you should charge for your work, the next big issue is to figure out how to sell to your clients, how to find the clients, and how to make them agree to the price that you have decided. But anyway, I have made an Excel file that you can actually download. The link will be in the description of the video, which should help you understanding how much an image costs and why. So let's jump to my screen here. I'm in the process of editing the video, but there is one thing that I forgot to say is that in 5 or 6, 7 years down the line, when you're gonna be really good at doing what you do, there is something else that you'll be able to charge for to your clients, and that will be your ability to make their projects better. Look at the calculations, look at the stuff that I'm about to explain to you, but also do understand that in the future, because of your abilities and because of your creativity, you'll be able to elevate your clients' projects, and that will come with a reward. And also for all those people that are going to look at these calculations and think, oh my God, this is unrealistic, this is all wrong, just use that scheme to make up the numbers that work for you, okay? That's the beauty of math. You can have an opinion, but math doesn't lie. Numbers don't lie. So go in there, tweak the numbers and see what's good for you. All right, keep watching the video. So in this case, I'm gonna assume that you're on your own, you're the owner of the company and you're the only artist, and you want to pay yourself a wage, say, of 4,000 euros a month. Let's assume that you have as general expenses around 1,000 euros a month between software, computer, some assets that you might need to buy. The monthly image capacity is basically how many images you can produce every month. Now, some people work really fast and they can manage to produce more images, but in reality, when you want to produce the kind of work that it's beautiful, that it's high quality work, that architects are looking for competitions, or maybe real estate developers when they want to sell a building, in my experience, a good artist, a good seasoned, experienced artist can only manage to produce 4 to 5 images per month. When it comes to production, it's not only about making the images, it's also about getting the feedback from the client, waiting for them to send you information. Sometimes, you know, you have to chase clients for payments, projects get delayed. In theory, one might say, look, I'm capable of making 20 images a month, but in reality, within the context of an actual commercial project, you will be more likely to make 4 images per month 4 good quality images per month. There might be some people that make lower quality images, but obviously those kind of projects, they also tend to sell for cheap. So in this case, let's just assume that you can make 5 images per month. Inside this sheet, you can see there are different voices. Down here, you can see I put a little box called shift. This is the shit hitting the fan coefficient. This is basically a number that I've set at 20%, which gives you a little bit of a buffer in case there are some mistakes, in case there are some screw-ups or project delays, because otherwise when you make the work and you don't have that little bit of a buffer, you can find yourself in a little bit of trouble. If you want to make 4,000 euros a month and you have an average of 1,000 euros of expenses per month, with a 20% buffer, the unitary price before profit is 1,200 euros per image. Now, you have heard this right. I'm talking about unitary price per image before profit. You might say, wait, I'm making a profit because I'm making 4,000 euros a month. And yeah, you're right. You're making 4,000 euros a month, but your company is not making a profit. Because a profit, and you will see it later when I'll make the example with a company, so with more players inside, the profit is actually the tool that allows you to scale up, to hire people, and to grow your company. When you have your own company, ideally you want to have a 25% of profit over the work that you produce. So in order for you to be profitable and make 4,000 euros a month with a capacity of 5 images per month, you should be charging around 1,500 euros per image. And this is of course before VAT. Now, let's say that instead you have a small operation. We're going to simplify this and we're going to make some assumptions based on some round numbers, which should be more or less realistic, at least for Europe, for Central Europe. So say that you run an operation with like 5 artists. Every artist is going to charge you 3,500 euros a month. This is on a freelance basis, meaning you don't have costs like software or computers. Usually a good freelancer comes with their own rig and with their own software. You might have to cover some of their expenses in case there are some software that it's required specifically for the workflow that you're creating. And let's just assume that you're paying each single artist 3,500 euros. Some more senior artists might make, I don't know, 5,000, 5,500 a month. Some more junior artists might make less, although it's becoming really difficult for junior artists to find jobs because, you know, the requirements are very high. Say that you have a project manager that is helping you out, and so this would be somebody who charges in proportion maybe around 4,000 a month. Then you have an office manager, which should cost more or less around 3,500 euros, so the same amount as an artist. An office manager is basically a person that will take care of making sure that people get paid. It will be a person that will buy assets when they're needed. It will be a person that will help you with the communication, with social media, with answering emails, with following up with clients. And so as you scale up your operation, having an office manager is actually very beneficial because this person is going to take over the work that it's repetitive and it's boring, but that needs to be done. Then you as an owner orchestrating this small company, you probably don't want to pay yourself 4,000 euros because you're going to be the person that is going to be on the phone on a Saturday. You're going to be making presentations on a Sunday. Every time that you'll go on holiday, you'll be there with your camera taking pictures of references. You'll basically be thinking about your office non-stop. So I'm just gonna assume that you're gonna make 6,000 euros a month. Now, in terms of general expenses, that number is going to go up quite a little bit. We're assuming for this example that the whole operation is remote, so the artists are working from home. Maybe you do have a little small office just for client meetings. Maybe the general expenses are around 2,500 euros. Now, each artist will have a capacity of around 5 images, and you being the owner, you might not have the capacity of making 5 images, you'll probably be making, say, 2. This buffer, you can actually reduce it as the operation gets better and you learn to make less mistakes. But 20%, it's a good conservative number to have. According to this calculation, the average unitary price before profit for an image should be around 1,400 88. And again, this is before profit, meaning that if you make that money, your company is still not profitable. Profit, really, you have to think of it as a tool. Yes, it is money that you're making, but it's not money that you can spend, at least not in the first 1 or 2 years of your operation. Because say that for a couple of months, I don't know, there is a crisis or a small recession, or you're going through some hard times, the money that you manage to put aside is the money that it's going to allow you to keep the operation going without having to shut down. In theory, after every 3 years, this is usually on average what it takes for governments to do backtracking and charge you for taxations that they might have missed. Every 3 years, governments, they will go through your finances, they will assess what it is that you owe them. And so every 3 years, you can look at that profit and you can decide what to do with it. Some people like to reinvest that profit and buy assets, or it's money that you can decide to spend for your own things. Also, this is money that can help you with liquidity, because sometimes what happens is that you finish a project, but you get paid 2 or 3 months later. In the meanwhile, you owe money to your artists, you owe money to vendors. By having some profit inside the bank, you can actually pay without having to borrow money from the bank. Down here, you see a breakdown of the total operational costs versus the monthly goals. And the monthly goal, it's basically what you're trying to achieve in terms of profit. Now, of course, in the beginning, you can negotiate and try to have a little less profit, especially when you're starting out. I would not really suggest you to mess around too much with the buffer, because the buffer is a thing that, at least in my case, it has saved me in the past. But yeah, there you have it. This is a calculation tool that you can use for yourself. You can decide for yourself how much it is that you want to make. You can calculate your costs exactly so that you can have a realistic estimation of how much you spend every month. And you can use this tool to understand how much money you need to make in case you want to scale up your operation. And I guess that's it. That's all I wanted to share with you guys. I hope that you find some value in this. Obviously, the topic of pricing can be extended, and there are a lot more things that we can talk about. I made endless videos in the past over this topic, but I am trying to make it a little bit more understandable for you, and I'm trying to give you the tools so that you can figure it out on your own. If you need help with scaling up your operation, with growing your ArchViz brand, you can always reach out to me. All the links will be in the video description. And that's it. I hope you liked this video. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you guys next time.